Hey Jason, hopefully this audio is not too bad. This is just a demo video. I'm going to send you a file, and basically the file will have the video in it, so you can just watch it and kind of play with the tool. The tool doesn't need any kind of application or installation. It doesn't have to be shared on any kind of central or server. It's actually just a text file or HTML file. I can send an email, and the idea would be it's an end of shift. At the end of the shift, basically all I do is type in the kit status. There's one or two more tweaks I got to do to make it, from my standpoint, 100%. But this is, again, just a rough draft to give you an idea. So let me just walk through it real quick. So the first thing, end of shift, what I would do is I go and do the kit statuses. Type in the kit name here. And the status. So one thing I'm going to improve is obviously in prep, you can't pick it until it's 100% prepped, but a lot of times, say end of shift, may have 50% of it prepped. So if I'm going to plan the next shift, then I don't need to plan for them to plan on having to prep the entire kit. So if it's half prepped, I'm going to create a status where there can be like basically what's ready and what's not. So that way it passes over to picking. So let me show you how it works and just act like this is brand new. So let's say we have a kit that's 600 lines in prep. Let's say we have a kit that's 450 lines in picking. And let's say we've already in verification. Let's say we have two more kits on the whiteboard. One of them is 700 lines, and the other one is 1,200 lines. So that's basically, I just go and I just look and see what we have. I'll put the names of the kits in the here. And at that point, we just go to the prep schedule. It's going to go ahead and it's color coordinated. So look here. This is yellow. So in prep, I've got 600, kit 1, yellow, kit 3, 700 in green, and 1,200 in orange. If you go to the prepping schedule, you'll see the yellow and the green. 2,500 lines is a lot. What we're going to do is we're going to go decrease this. Typically, we'll say we're going to want more preppers at the beginning of the shift to ensure that the pickers don't run out. So 4 is plenty. And if we go down to like 3 and 2, 1894, to me, that's going to be a perfect day. It's a lot. Again, we can adjust these numbers, but let's say that's the goal. That ought to set us up for a good pick and a good verification. So, and you can also see here, it actually tells you based on the number of people, we should get done with this first kit about the first 8 to 10 minutes of the second period. And we should get done with the second kit prepping about the same, about 10 minutes into the third period. And then we'll end up prepping that fourth kit to the end of the day. And if I added more people here, you could see how much it would take. We wouldn't finish that fourth kit. So that's going to run over to the next shift, obviously, after the next shift. So we'll keep it like this right here. So we got 4 people first period, 4 people second period, 3 people, and then 2 people. So in picking, starting off with 1, let's say we want to hit that 1,800 as well. So let's go ahead and just add 1 down here and down here. That's right at 1,800 there, and everything is solid. There's no gaps. Now, if I started adding people to don't let me add any more than I have available. So that's the best I could do is 2. But really, if I can go with 1 first period, I can go with second period 2 and 2 and get close to 1,800. I'm good with it. Now, if you wanted to go ahead and do 2 there, maybe off here, you could. But you see, it's not going to get you quite to 1,800. about 1750. It's going to go down to increase that to 2. That looks good to me. So now I've got prepping solid, got the picking solid, and verification should be pretty solid now. It's pretty weak, so we need to add some people. So let's add from the bottom up. Try to get it to that, 1800. You can see it's right here, 1453. I don't know if we could do 2 at the beginning. You see, it gives gaps. So those gaps mean that's about a 30-minute gap right there if we did that. But we could probably add here. And we could add here if we wanted to. 16, 17 is good. And we could do 3 here just to have a strong finish at 1750. That's a stellar day. That's, these 3 schedules here is probably than 2 shifts have done in a long time. But again, it's based off standards, and it's definitely doable. So all we did was I entered in what's actually on the floor. I just rearranged some people to give an idea of 1800 is roundabout goal for each one of these. Everything's solid, so they could actually look at this and run this as a plan. So on the big screen, we can actually put the board. And as you can see, it's already got everything based on what we have in the plan, each pick and each period. So the end of first period, what I would do is when everybody goes into break, go and I'd enter in, right? What do we do? We prep. So we prep, let's say we prep 475. So that's about 94% first period. And let's say period 1, we picked 268, 8%. And then let's say on verification, let's say we did a little better. We did 230, 120%. Again, we can change this to where, we can add buffers, we can add different metrics and standards, but this is based off of what I've come up with, talking to Melissa and talking to the teams. If we can go ahead and let's have P2, let's say P2, we did about 730. It's 101%. Let's say we did 423, 103%. And let's say we went ahead and did 100. All right, so we're pretty much kicking butt and rain right here, the second period. The third period, all we do is after, so they go to first period, they go to break. Second period, they go to lunch. This third period is before the last break. So right at that last break, I'll go and look and see what they got. So they got 370, they got 40, they got 600. And you can see it's going to fill on those right there. Verification is pretty much an all of rain. These guys are still kicking butt. Everybody's pretty much kicking butt. And then P4, let's say nobody falls off. Everybody just hits the mark. And they finish what they got. Everything runs smooth. And there is your day. Again, that is what we would have shown on the big screen. These are collapsible. We would just open them up during breaks and enter in the actuals. That's what will be displayed on the big screen for everyone to see. Down here, I've got some password protected methods where we fill in there and set those. So nobody can go in there and affect them. And then we also have this little help, which I'll add a video here, which they can actually watch. Or if they click on this little helper, they can actually go in here and look at what the recommended workflow is, and we can update this game so everybody agrees. That's pretty much it. So, and again, it's pretty user friendly, pretty fast. And here's the beauty of that. Let's say I'm done right here. I'm going to keep this for my own records. So I just export it. There it is. So I've got this file. It's going to open up and show me exactly this right here. Now, better yet, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a clear button right here. We click it. It's going to clear out all these numbers. So I can just do it manually. I'll add the button because that's, even though that's not, it's just not perfect. And then what we would do is end the shift. Go to kit status, go and update what's on the floor. And that's what the next shift would walk into right there. They could see they need 4 people, P1 prepping. They need 3 people, P3. They need 1 person picking P1. And it's got the totals up here. Verification doesn't have people yet. It's interesting. So let me just make sure. This may be something we have to go in and fix the people. Looks like the people aren't showing it there, but for the most part, it tells you how many people. So it's just the plan, but the next supervisor can come in. They can look at it. They can open it up. They can edit it. Of course, if you wanted it to where it was locked, so if it was something that you wanted them not to edit, we could add this ability here to lock it. So that way they would just come in and try to, these would be the goals. This is what they would try to hit and go from there. All right, man. Sorry for the long video. Hopefully this is pretty cool. Just got to add the people, the verifying, and I need to add ability to split what's done and what still needs to be prepping so that it doesn't, so it's still accurate in its time and planning.